Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys are good today. Now I'm joined by Beatrice today, and we're going to be speaking a bit about Arsenal women as their season obviously doesn't start until September, but there has obviously been a lot going on. So we're going to be chatting a bit about that. But first of all, thank you so much for coming on my channel today. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, you're very welcome. I'm really excited to have you on. I know we've been trying to do this for a few weeks, so it'd be good to have you on today. And obviously, the transfer window has been quite busy with the women's team. I mean, we've signed quite a lot of players. I think it's like a window we've kind of needed for a little while. What have you made of the transfer window so far?
Yeah, I think it's been a good transfer window. Like you said, they've made lots of signings, but probably needed because they lost quite a few big names as well at the back end of the season, like players who've been there for a while. So yeah, I think it was needed. There were certain positions as well that we were lacking in. So I think it's been a good transfer window so far.
Yeah, it's been really good as you said because there has been quite a few like outgoings. I mean, I think it was quite hard as well towards the end of the season to see players like McCabe and Mead go. We obviously did move on other players that have also stayed in the WSL. So yeah, I think it's going to be interesting going to the season. Obviously, there has been like questions amongst fans about our defensive, like how we're going to do defensively. We haven't obviously brought anyone in defensively yet. I mean, if Leah Williamson and Catley can stay fit, obviously we should be okay. But do you think we need to bring anyone in defensively? Because I know Katie Reid obviously did her ACL, and I think she's going to take a bit of time. I know we've got Ruben Moy as well, but obviously I know certain fans do kind of want us to bring someone else in defensively.
Yeah, I think in that central defensive position, we definitely need someone. Obviously, they brought in Honor. I can never pronounce her second name properly,
Yeah,
but
me too.
Batial. So obviously we brought in her, but yeah, centrally, I do think we could benefit from another defender. Obviously, it's a bit of a weird one because if all the players that we had were fit, I think we'd be all right. So you're kind of, yeah, when they do then come back, it's a bit of a I guess a tougher situation to manage as a manager with having so many because that I mean we do have a lot of central defenders, just maybe not at the level that we'd like them to be. So
Yeah,
yeah, I think they could do with bringing someone in, but I don't know.
yeah, it is difficult, isn't it? Because like we do have Ruben Moy, who I think has been pretty good, and she's sort of more of like the backup. We know Leah and Steph Catley have been in that partnership over the last couple of seasons, and I do think as well we've not really had any kind of tournaments like throughout the summer. So you know, Leah's had quite a lot of rest. I know she's picked up quite a few injuries over time. But yeah, I think obviously we could be okay. I will be interested to see. There's still plenty of time left in the window anyway. But I think we've got a really good squad, as you said. We've made quite a few signings. I mean, is there any signing that you're most looking forward to seeing? Because I know we've obviously made like quite a lot of signings. Like I'm excited to see like Georgia Stanway as well because she's been like a player I've loved watching, and some of these players it still feels like unreal that they're here.
Yeah, I mean you just stolen my answer there. I'm looking forward to seeing Georgia Stanway. Seeing her, I don't know why my headphones keep disconnecting. But seeing her alongside like some of her Lionesses teammates as well, I think that's going to be really, really cool. So yeah, I'm excited for that.
Yeah, it's gonna be really good because, like as you said, there's like a lot of players you might not think would actually have come to Arsenal. I mean, I know Georgia Stanway has been in the league before as well, and she's got that experience. And as you mentioned before, with Onabate, we've obviously found a good replacement, you know, for McCabe and her. And I think again, it's kind of good to have quite a few Spanish players as well in the team. I think it's good, you know, because they have some sort of familiarity as well, and I think that's really good. And obviously in the attack we've obviously made a few changes as well. We've got Lisa Barman, obviously we do have Selena Serki, and I think the attack is definitely a position that I think could do with, you know, a few signings which we've obviously done, especially with losing a player like Beth Mead. And Beth Mead obviously did get us quite a few goals last season as well. So yeah, I'm really excited for the season coming up. Obviously with the season, like I said, it doesn't start till September. We are obviously having a few games now behind closed doors, etc. But going into the season, how do you sort of feel? Because I know last season, we didn't really win anything. We did obviously win the Club World Cup, which was obviously really special to win. I know the league, we haven't won that in a while, and no Man City, we're going to want to come back and win it again. You've got Chelsea, who again are very competitive. Like so many teams have strengthened in this window, but do you think we can win a few, maybe one big trophy next season, or have a good season?
I do think a lot of teams have strengthened in this off season, and the league's becoming more and more competitive. We've got more games this season, everything like that. But I do think that we have a good chance. I think Man City are probably going to be the other big contenders for the league, but I'd put Arsenal right up there with them.
Yeah,
I think Chelsea obviously going through a bit of like a transitional period as a club generally, having lost Emma Hayes a few years ago, and then they didn't have the greatest season last season. Obviously they've strengthened in the off season, but yeah, I think right now I'd put Arsenal and Man City as the two big contenders for the season. So I'd like to say that we've got a good chance of winning one of the trophies. I guess there's no League Cup anymore, so
yeah.
that would be between domestically between the FA Cup and the league, but wouldn't mind the Champions League either, can't lie.
Yeah, I think in a way, I feel like it's kind of a good thing, with I mean, obviously you want to be in all the competitions, but I think you can really see a lot of these players with the schedule are quite exhausted, and
Mhm.
especially last season we didn't have as much depth as we've got now, and I think you saw more injuries last season, so I feel like maybe it's good to have other teams that can go for the League Cup, because it was usually the same kind of teams that won that. But I think for us, I think as you said with the league, I do think that Man City will be up there, but I think like there's no reason why we can't win it. I know obviously we have struggled with it. You've got to be quite consistent, and obviously this season is going to be more. Two extra teams, which I think is quite exciting. And I think, like you said as well, with the WSL, you're getting more big players coming into the league, which I think definitely makes it more exciting. And as you said with the Champions League, I mean, we won that not long ago. It would be amazing to win that again. I think the team would want to win everything, and I think as you said, like we've made quite a few signings in this window, so I think like there's no reason why we can't be up there. It will be interesting as well with Man City, because they've obviously got the Champions League, and obviously last season they didn't really have that. So it'll be interesting to see how they kind of balance that out, as we've obviously been in the Champions League for a long time, and we kind of know how to deal with that. And like I said, you've got other competitions that we can see. And obviously, I wanted to ask you about a couple of players. I mean, Chloe Kelly again. I think she's a player that I'm excited to see next season. I know obviously last season she kind of struggled a bit with her injuries, and again, like we've got a great attack. Obviously, Olivia Smith as well. She's amazing with the players we brought in. With Chloe Kelly, do you feel like this is an important season for her, considering like I mean she's been great. I love her at Arsenal, but I know last season she did kind of struggle to get going, like due to her injuries as well.
Yeah, I think obviously she's a really exciting player. Whenever she's on the pitch, she's a good player to watch. But I do think this is going to be an important season for a lot of players with the World Cup coming up in next summer. For a lot of players, they have to prove a point. They have to get minutes. They have to stay uninjured if they want to compete come Brazil 2027. So yeah, I think it has to be an important season for her. Same for most of the
Yeah.
international players. It has to be a big season. If it's not, they're not going to be heading out to Brazil.
Yeah, as you said, the World Cup is pretty much like around the corner when the season does start, and she will want to make, like a lot of the players, as you said, they'll really want to make a really big impact. And I think it's going to be great going into the season, because I think you've got kind of a lot of options. Like I was thinking, like who do you even kind of start? Because you've got quite a few options, and I think Renie is definitely going to have a bit of a headache, kind of picking who to start as well. I think in the midfield, like we've got that great luxury. You've got Rittler as well. You've obviously got Stanway, and also with Kim Little, we know she is getting a bit older, and I think we know she's probably going to retire. Maybe when the contract does end And obviously with like players like Georgia Stanway in and Rootler, etc., we've obviously got, you know, Marnin, we've got Cordente, you've got so many players that in midfield. With Little, do you think him Little will be like a starter next season, or do you feel like she might be someone that we sort of kind of still play, but obviously not play as much? It's difficult for Kim Little because she is sort of like the heart of the team in a way, because she has so much control in midfield and she's so experienced, and I can't imagine her not being at Arsenal. I also look at the midfield and I think to myself, like, you know, Root will be coming to be starting, so will Georgia Stanway, and obviously I know Kendall has picked up injuries in the past as well, so we've got like so much competition now in that area.
Yeah, I don't see her starting over the name, like the likes of the names that you've just said. I think she has an important role within the team, but I suspect that role's more behind the scenes. I think she's probably leading the team well off the pitch,
Yeah.
managing the team well off the pitch. But like you said, she's old and they've brought in good players in that midfield role. I think I I don't see her starting, but I do think she will still get some minutes. I think she might come off the bench in a few games just to help manage games. Maybe when we're winning, she'll come on and help manage the game out, or yeah, vice versa. But yeah, I think she probably has a bigger role than we're noticing off the pitch. A
Yeah.
senior player like that, I mean, as a player myself, I think the stuff that you don't see is probably more important. That training ground stuff, like how the players are playing together, gelling, that kind of stuff. I think she's probably pretty integral to that.
Yeah, I think like you said, like there's so much like in the dressing room we won't see, and I think you can see, you know, players like Leah Williamson as well. There's so many leaders in this team that we won't obviously see, but I think with Kim Little, I think she's a big player in this team. Like you said, even if she isn't going to be starting every game, she probably will be playing. She'll probably play a lot of minutes, like a lot of these other players that won't be starting. I think with Kim Little, she's been here such a long time, and she knows, you know, how important it is to continue to win. And I think, like you said, with the midfield we have brought in, I think we are going to see a lot of rotation every game. You're probably going to see different players start, and like you said, you've got the FA Cup as well, the Champions League. There's so many different games, and injuries happen as well. So you just don't know what is around the corner. But like you said, Kimnell is a big player for Arsenal, a big leader, and she's the captain for a reason. And like we said as well, I think this season is going to be quite big. Obviously with silverware, I know with Renie winning us the Champions League was just incredible. And I know last season, I think last season we obviously struggled a bit with the depth as well in sort of different positions, and we unfortunately fell short. Obviously, this season, I know the team will want to win, obviously, the league, but I know the Champions League is kind of special to us because we have done it before. I know Chelsea are really going to want to win that, but I do feel like we're in a good place to obviously give that a really good go. I think if with the attack as well, we've obviously made a couple of changes, which I think is really exciting as well. With the Champions League, I mean, do you think we can do it again? We've done it before, and we know we've got a lot of experience in this team, and we've added quite a lot of players as well. We've obviously Onabate's got a lot of like experience of winning with like Barcelona, and we've obviously made quite a few changes to the team as well.
Yeah, I think the Champions League's a like very different competition to the other competitions that they play in. Obviously, with it being more midweek and playing against teams from other countries, I think it's very different. I think it's probably going to help all of the WSL clubs playing in the Champions League this season, not having the League Cup, having that
Yeah,
extra time and to prep and focus on the Champions League is probably going to help them. But I do think, I mean, it's hard to compete in both the league, the Champions League, and the FA Cup. That's still a lot. Like to be playing at the weekend and then midweek and then weekend.
yeah.
Like, I think the squad depth is going to be important, and Arsenal definitely have that. We've got strength in our squad. Um, but yeah, the Champions League's definitely special to the club, and that would be an awesome one to win. But it's been a while since we won the league, and
Yeah.
I'd quite like to see them do that this season.
Yeah, I think the league's one I'd want to win. I mean, obviously, like you said, you've got the FA Cup, and I get why we have fallen a bit short with the FA Cup because, like you said, it's just if you're playing every few days, players are going to be exhausted, and it's quite difficult. As you said, the League Cup, that us not being in that definitely kind of helps with the players to be able to rest. And yeah, I think with the league, it's been such a long time. I know we've gotten close like a couple of times recently, and I think the league would be so special to win because, I mean, a lot of these players like that are here haven't even won it with Arsenal. I know like Leah has, and maybe Kim Little, but I know like most of them haven't won it. I
2019,
think
I think that's
yeah,
when they won it last. It's been a while.
it honestly is a long time as well. I mean, I know it actually did take Man City as well a little while as well because I know Chelsea have been so dominant
Mm.
with the league, and yeah, the league's one I'd love to win. I know the league can be quite difficult, but because you've got to, I think with the way it is, because there's only, I mean, there is 14 teams now, so you could probably afford to maybe lose and draw. But I know with the league you can't really, drop too many points because there's not as many
Mm.
teams. So I think last season we obviously did draw too many games. I think if we can just win a couple more, and I think we should be fine this season because we've obviously got more depth. I think the midfield was an area that I think we needed a bit more depth as well. And I think as well with like certain players like Cardente, I think she had to play so many minutes. I think when she wasn't in the team, you could really see the drop off as well. Same with Kimmel when she wasn't in, you could really see that. So yeah, I hope we can win the league. I mean, that's one out of us to win. I wanted to ask you obviously a bit about Rene because I mean, I think she's been amazing. I absolutely love her. When she came in, I just think you could really feel her energy, and I think she connects really well with these players. And obviously, she won us the Champions League, and I think this summer she's had a great summer, and obviously they've been working really hard behind the scenes. I wanted to honestly get your thoughts about what you've made of Renie so far, and obviously, as we said, we've got a really important season, and we do want to continue winning silverware under Renie next season.
Yeah, I really like Rene. I really like the shift in the WSL. I think it's 60% of coaches are now
Yeah, I love
female,
that.
which I think is huge and I think it's needed. Um, I think you get something different from a female coach in the women's game compared to having a man. But yeah, I'm a big fan of Rene. What, she won the Champions League in her first half
Yeah.
season, I guess. She didn't even have the full season with the club, because she joined what, September time maybe. But yeah, I really like her. I think she's been really good. Obviously, last season wasn't our best season ever, but like you said, we had a crazy schedule. When you throw like the Club World Cup in there, absolutely bonkers. The back end of the
Yeah.
season, how many games they were playing catch up with. So yeah, I'm a big fan of her at the club, to be honest.
Yeah, I think, like you said, it was crazy, wasn't it, when she came in like half a season, she had to take
Mm,
over, and we were in a bit of a mess. We were obviously struggling. I think we were lacking a lot of confidence, to be honest with you. And she came
yeah.
in and she really gave the team so much confidence. And obviously, she only came in really as a short term options until we found someone, and then obviously she ended up being the right person for the club. And I'm with you. I think it's really nice to see more women managers in a WSL as well. I mean, I know with the team we've obviously had a lot of um coaches that have been men over the last couple of years. I think it's quite refreshing to see Rennie take over and do such a great job. And yeah, hopefully next season we can continue winning things. I know, like you said, last season was a bit difficult. I know we did win the Club World Cup, and that was that was great, to be the first team to do it, and it was all quite new to us, and it was really good to see us do that. I know we obviously had quite a busy schedule last summer, but I think it was, yeah, really nice just to win that. And hopefully the season coming up we can make some more signings. I mean, I think a defender we just need, but I think going to the season I'm really happy with the squad we've got. I think even if we don't sign a defender, I think we should be okay without hopefully too many injuries defensively. But I think we're in a really good place with the players we've got, and I just want the season to start. To be honest, I'm so excited for that to start. Obviously, thank you so much for coming on to chat about Arsenal women. It's been really great to have you on today. And before we end the show, do you want to just tell people a bit about what you do and where they can find you?
Yeah, I mean, thank you so much for having me. It was a really, really enjoyable chat. But yeah, you can find me across all social media platforms. I post a lot about the women's game. I play for Northampton Town in Tier 4, so I post a lot about my experiences, showing you a bit of a different side of the game to Arsenal. But I think it's an important side of the game that if you're a fan of the women's game, I think it's worthwhile having a look. So yeah, you can find me across all social media platforms at Beatrice Rogers _.
Love that. Thank you so much for coming on. Obviously, I hope you guys are watching this back have enjoyed this, and obviously when the season does start, I'll be very excited because it feels like it's been ages since they've played. But yeah, hopefully we'll have a good season. And hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you do enjoy my content around here, do make sure you like and subscribe. Do you also check out Beatrice's social media as well and give her a follow, and I will see you guys in my next video.